we're doing at the start. Last weekend, we channeled like nonstop. Last weekend, I channeled from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, group channelings, the librarians of the Akashic Records, or the Akashic Collective, Father Joseph came through. Um, and then I was doing private channeling sessions with people, which is really intense for me. And at the end of the weekend, we were like recording everything with my laptop. At the end of the weekend, none of my electronics were working. It took me until an hour ago to get my laptop back to being able to video record again. Like all of the parameters and everything had gone off. Like nothing. It was just all like someone had gone into all of my programming and messed it all up. So, and meanwhile, this water bottle I have, which is just a water, I have some crystals and shungite at the bottom, but it's regular water. We live in the woods in the country, so it's well water. When I start channeling, all the water starts bubbling up. I'm going to have to do that online sometime. So the water bottle was geysering half the time. It was crazy. Um, okay, so hi, um, whoever's there tonight. Thank you for joining. I, ever since I talked about using your ego to heal your personal issues and healing through your heart, I've never had so many people ask me about like what this means and how to do it. So obviously this is something that's calling to everyone. We want healthy hearts. We want to feel good about ourselves. And a lot of people don't think of ego as a viable aid to your work. I've had various people come to me and say when they try to use their ego, nothing goes right. And this is going to be part of any time you work with a new tool. Um, I've been um, working with the Reverend Michael Shane, Mychael Shane. I'll put a link to his site under this. He is amazing. He can apport items from one place to another. And he can bring out ectoplasm and make it solid. So, like this guy, he's just a miracle on the planet. I absolutely worship him because of the way I am. When I spend much time with someone who does something, I sort of ride on their energy waves, and then I kind of pick up what to do, how they do. So if I spend time with someone who does something really cool, I kind of start picking it up. Um, but I didn't spend enough time with Michael, and I didn't learn the techniques. I didn't realize this would happen. And then after Michael left, he travels all over the world. This guy's awesome. I would go into my living room, and all of the little miscellaneous items that you're missing, like change in the sofa, my spare house key, a book that I was reading, put down somewhere, they would all be like in a nice, neat piled up on my table. I'd go in the kitchen, and all the miscellaneous, like the items that I've been looking for, were piled up on my kitchen counter. It just like strange things were happening. And things like I'll go down an escalator one floor, and I know I'm going down one floor. I'll get off at the floor I'm supposed to get off, and I've gone down another two floors. I've gone down three floors, not one. Um, very weird little things. Um, because I tapped into his energy, but I didn't learn how to do what he's doing. So I've been practicing this on my own the past year. Um, the way I always do, watching YouTube videos. I don't know that many people who apport objects from one dimension to another. And in order to get to the level that Michael does, it takes years of daily practice. So I'm kind of, uh, not doing a sophisticated job of my practice. So, but I'm messing everything up all the time. That's the way it is. So when you try to work with your ego, sorry for that segue. I just, you know, I love this idea of, oh, an object's over here and now it's over there, like so much that, I kind of fall into the subject and forget to pop back out. So anyway, sorry for the segue. If you're working with your ego, plan on having a little bit of accidents at first because you're learning a new skill. You're redefining a relationship that you've had for many years. Imagine when couples go into marriage counseling, they don't go to the first session, they walk out, oh, good, now we're all fine. They are they're releasing years of the habits they no longer want while they're slowly claiming the habits of what they do want. It's a little bit the same with working with your ego. Most of us have spent years, our entire lives, decades, thinking ego is bad. Oh, I'm trying to push my ego away. So how are you suddenly going to be best friends with your ego? Your ego has feelings. It's feeling maybe a little rejected or a little lopsided in the relationship. I mean, odds are, if you're watching this video, you are probably not someone who says, oh, yes, everything I want always happens all the time. Isn't it great? Because um, you might be. I don't know. You may be saying, yes, everything happens great, and watching this video is great. So anyway, um, here's the thing to remember about ego. Ego will always show you what you need to fix so you can get what you want. If you are a very complicated person, you're going to have a lot more to fix. The people that you see where everything they want, it just magically happens for them, they're either simple people, like very direct, going straight to what they want, or they've fixed a lot of stuff. Or maybe this is their charmed life. We all get them once in a while. You just had 3 lives where you're burned at the stake, before that 8 lives where you're a soldier, you're like, before that you started a revolution. This life, you're going to lie in a hammock and chill out. We get those once in a while. But odds are, if you're a complicated person, you got a lot of micro issues everywhere. So your ego will show you which issues you got to deal with to get what you want. And it will also show you how nice things will be when you get what you want. So, I've had, and if I'm saying a story that you're like, oh, I said that to Bonita, trust me, all of these that I'm explaining are like stories I've gotten multiple times from multiple people. So don't feel like I'm putting you out to dry. So if you're like, okay, ego, I want to manifest, um, my dream job. I want a job that pays well, where I'm respected, where I'm valued, where I'm working on the areas that I really, feel I'm an expert in. And, I just want to have a good time with going to work every day, working hard and feeling good about it. Ego, let's make this happen. So your ego will say, yeah, you don't deserve it. And you're like, whoa, ego, that's really hurtful. Your ego is showing you what you need to heal. You need to heal how much you value yourself. It's hard to get a job if you don't think you deserve the job. So you're like, oh, okay, I get it. So then you look into yourself and do some heart-centered healing, which we'll do in a moment. And you find out why it is you think you don't deserve a job that you're obviously perfectly qualified for and you will, make good work with. So you heal that. You're like, okay, ego, we got that taken care of. Now let's manifest this job. And ego will go, you're kind of stupid. And you're like, oh, ego, oh, wait, I think I'm kind of stupid. So then you look at, why do I think I'm stupid? And you release that. You're like, okay, ego, let's look at it. You've always been a loser. You'll always be a loser. You're like, I don't think I'm a loser. Ego, I think I'm awesome. Why? Oh, wait, because, when I was growing up, this is what was said to me by someone, and it kind of stuck. So you release that. Or maybe the last few jobs I've had employers who act that way towards me. So then I've stopped and think, well, if my friends don't treat me that way, and my family doesn't treat me that way, and I don't think this way about myself, why am I connecting with employers who feel comfortable treating me that way? So you got some issues to resolve, and then you resolve them. You're like, okay, ego, let's work on the job. And you're like, oh, I feel something working. And you feel it going up a little bit, and you feel the manifestation happening. And then you're like, but nothing's happening. I'm not getting anything. And you'll hear in your voice, that's because you don't know how to do it. You're like, oh, I don't know how to manifest. So you got to do a little research on manifesting. Manifesting, as White Buffalo Woman tells us, is when your prayers and your efforts are in alignment, the path is easy. Manifesting is not just you sit there and you dream what you want and you put your heart out there and it comes to you. The manifested item is not going to come knocking out your door. Hello, hello, I'm here. Your dreams are coming true. You also have to put effort into it. So part of manifesting is you tell your ego, you tell the angels, you put it out there what you want. You let the wish just go up there. You let them do their part, but they will connect with you and tell you what you got to do. And they'll give you like nice, sweet little whispers and secrets. And suddenly you're like, I feel like going in this building. I don't know why. It's a bookstore. I walk in the bookstore and you're like, oh, look, here's someone that I haven't talked to for years. And oh, look, this person is an HR director. Yeah, things happen. Coincidences will come your way. Um, so work with your ego and you will find your ego will show you what to release. As you release and you heal, your ego you'll feel the energy is going up and up and up until finally you're like, I feel great. Everything is wonderful. Everything is working. I'm putting it out there, but nothing's manifesting because you also have to be emotionally neutral to what you're manifesting. What I mean is there's two sides of kind of messing yourself up with this. One side is you don't think you're worthy, or you bring yourself emotionally down. The other side is when you want it too much. When you want it too much, you can also imbalance it. I mean, we've all had that when you want it so much that you mess it up, or you make mistakes that you wouldn't have made, or how easy it is to ask for $10 when you don't need it, and how hard it is to ask for $10 when you really need it. So you release, the extreme focus on how badly you want this to happen. You become neutral. There's so much power to being emotionally neutral. You have released the anxieties, you've released the expectations, and you open up and you feel the magic pouring in. I'm telling you, it is amazing. Suddenly you're like, why was I carrying around all of this baggage when it's so much easier to open up? I'm going to give you a little example. Today, I wanted to toast some bread. So I got out the bread, it was in a bag, and I had one of those little plastic picks on it to seal the bag. I got out the bread, put it in the toaster, then I got the bag and I swirled up the end of the bag and I was looking for the pick, couldn't find it anywhere. The little white pick, I'm looking everywhere on the counters. I was going nuts because I'm like, I know this pick was right here. I'm looking for it. I don't see it anywhere. It has disappeared off the face of the earth. So I put the bag back in the refrigerator. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't need the pick. I don't even care anymore. I looked on the ground. There was the pick. It was a red pick. It wasn't white. Because I was looking for it, I didn't allow it to reveal itself. Because I was looking for it, I put in my mind, this is what it is. And I wasn't even looking for the right thing. And as soon as I'm like, forget it, I don't even care anymore, it's like, hey, I'm right here on the floor, literally at the base of the counter. You're practically stepping on me. I'm Of course, I know spirit vision is about allowing the information to be received, not putting expectations on what information you'll get. So I was looking at, I'm like, little red tick, you are such a lesson for me. I picked it up, opened the refrigerator, put it on the bag, put it in there, and I'm like, man, here I am looking for something and I'm not seeing anything. So that's what I mean. When you want it too bad, then you're like, this is what I need. Without this, nothing will happen. And Spirit's like, but we're ready to give you this, which is actually the same or better. And you're like, I don't even see it because it's not this what I want, what I need. So when you release the need, then that which you desire has the chance to come and find you, to fall in your lap. So, and it's amazing how often when you get what you truly do, what works for you, how much you realize what you were looking for is not what you wanted after all. You know, the divine, they know what they're doing. Energy knows what it's doing. We can coast on it and do great. But when we try to micromanage it, that's when we mess up. So, heart-centered healing. I want to give us an exercise on this. And after we work through it, I'll see if I can channel in and bring someone through. Gaia has been with me today, so I'm hoping she'll come through. If I can get my energy up to match hers, we'll see if she can come through. But someone good who can do heart-centered healing will come through and lead us on meditation. So here's how I do heart-centered healing. And if any of you caught me on my little video earlier today, that took me like 8 tries to get up because electronics weren't working. We were saying very clearly, allow your own connection to dictate what works for you. So the way I'm doing it, if it doesn't work for you, allow yourself to open up and receive the way that works for you. Okay, it does not, there's no formula. It's about connecting frequencies. So I will open up my energy flow. If you want to do a whole chakra alignment meditation, you can. I just kind of like, you know what, I open. My crown is open, my feet are open, I'm opening, the energy is flowing wide. Everyone who loves me cares about my best well-being, from my highest vibration of my highest self to the angels on up. All of my guides, all of my teachers and mentors, send me love. Send your love right down into me. And I just find myself flowing with love energy. And then what works for me is I'll put my hand on my heart and I'll feel the energy in my heart. I'll take a few moments to feel like, are there any aches or any pains, any little pinching feeling, you know, a dull, numb ache? Does it feel any constrictions? I mean, we all know how our hearts can get. Our hearts can be really fragile and they carry a lot of weight. So I'll feel in there until, you know, and I'll call who wants to come forward. And I'll let something come up. And I'll ask it, who are you? What are you? Why are you in my heart? What can I do for you? How can I help you? And I'll wait until I get a response. It might be an emotional response. It might be a sense of knowing. It might feel like someone's whispering in my brain. I might get images downloaded, or I may get a memory of like some, whatever time it was that caused me to put a wall in my heart that traps this energy in here. You know, it might be like an ex-boyfriend who done me wrong, or, you know, a scary time when I was walking through the woods late at night, or anxiety over some project I had to do for school when I was 8 years old, or a general feeling of distress that just felt the need to attach itself to me, or a past life. One time I had a past life that was living in my heart. This guy had been living in the heart of every one of my lives since his death. He had been some sort of a sailor, and he was keel hauled, and he died being keel hauled. Now, being keel hauled is awful because what they do is they like tie you to a rope on one side of the ship. They drop you down into the water, and you go all the way down the side of the ship, under the ship, on up the other side. I don't really know the mechanics of how they do the rope and pulley system or whatever, but the ships have barnacles and stuff on them. You get cut up as well as you underwater for a long time. Um, by the time you get out from being keel hauled, you're not in good shape. And this is how this guy died. He died underwater, um, with, with his whole body being scraped, all of his flesh being scraped off of him. It sometimes attracts sharks and stuff like that. It was a brutal, awful death. And he didn't know what to do with himself after he died. He knew that he could return to our higher self, but he just like was too traumatized. He was like deer in the headlights. He was still stuck in the moment, and he did not know how to break free of the moment to return and join our collective higher self. So he stayed lodged in the heart of every one of the next lives until I found him, and I showed him how to return to our higher self. And I told him about some of the lives we've had from him to now, and he told me his side of those lives and how bad he felt like bringing so much pain into all the lives. So anyway, he returned, but it was so funny. He was getting ready to leave, and he's like, "Wait, I have a friend in here. I'm not leaving him." And there was another past life who had died traumatically, and the two of them went off together. They, so you never know what you'll find when you look in your heart, but it's not all about who done me wrong or what memories of when I done something else wrong am I hiding from. Sometimes it just, you know, you hear something that traumatizes you, or it's life experiences or an attachment, who knows. So what I'll do is this energy that's here in my heart, I will say, you know what, come out here to my hand. Let me see you. And I don't look at it directly so much. I just have a knowing seeing. The point is to get it out of my body and into my hand. That makes it easier for me to connect with this, not in a, oh my God, when I was when I was 23 years old, the love of my life dumped me for some girl that he knew I felt insecure about, and I'm still got this heartache about it. So then, it gets me out of the drama of that and allows me to take the energy of the 23-year-old me going through the worst breakup in the history of all existence here into my hand. Then, as we're separated, I'm getting that emotional neutrality. So instead of like the worst pain ever, it's I'm fine. The energy is in my hand, and you're raising my hand, and I will allow my third eye or my sense of knowingness just to connect with this energy. Say, tell me your story. Talk as though I'm talking with a friend. Allow it to just like cry or laugh or let it all out. And sorry, my computer was acting funky as usual. Let it all out, whatever. And then I'll say, why don't you go and I'll say, I'm so sorry you were trapped in me all this time. I'm sometimes the energy we bring up, it feels like we're the jailer and the energy is the victim of us forcing it to stay in our lives. So I'll say, I am so sorry with all you've been through. I'm so sorry that you've been trapped in me all this time. You have an energy family that's waiting for you. You know, why don't you rise up, go back home, go to your family who's ready to, who's like so excited that you're finally out of me. Go on up, get healed, return to your family. Sometimes the energy will argue, like, oh no, I'm so dark and ugly, my family won't want me. I'll say, no, look up. There's your family there. Your family's waiting for you. Just all you have to do is rise up, rejoin your family, and there you go. And I can feel the energy going up. There it goes. It's really lovely. So then I want to make sure that, because, we all have stuff in our hearts. I want to make sure all the other stuff doesn't go and crowd the space that one left. Remember, all of my energy is flowing. I allow the divine energy to flow into me and fill my heart and just fill my heart completely. And then I'll start over. Is there anyone else? Look what I just did for that energy. Is there anyone else in here? You want to rise up and go? Sometimes, you know, it takes like the first 2 or 3, I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. And then suddenly like 12 want to come out at once, and then 100, and then 1,000. And sometimes they're like really tiny little things. They're just like tagging along. They're all out there, and it feels like a grand exodus from my heart to the cosmic love dimension. Um, you can also create a portal from your heart where you just like send your love energy out into a portal, get it really activated. Use your imagination for this, and then send all of the distressing energy to, in a love portal, they get sent to a place of extraordinary healing and love and joy. And everything can just pour over there. And once they are healed and in good shape, they can go wherever they want. Just let them know you can come back here as long as you're on the vibration of my highest well-being on up. Don't come back here, a red hot mess. But they won't be. They'll be good. So this is how you use your ego and your heart to heal through and like start filling yourself with good energy. If you're feeling in your heart and you feel like you got some dull aches in there, but you're not sure what, say to your ego, I want to heal myself. I want to feel good. And ego will be like, you're a terrible healer. You don't even know how to connect. I'm like, oh, so this is what I need to heal now. I need to heal whatever is within me that makes me feel like I'm a terrible healer, that I don't know how to connect. Why is it I feel that way? And then you go in, you're like, well, I feel that way because I'm going to use myself as an example, because this is me. It's like, I feel this way because I put too much pressure on myself. I'm super goal oriented. If I can't do this, then this means that all the work I've done for the last many years is a sham, and no one will ever want to turn to me for help, so I can't help anyone. Like, I'll make up this whole crazy drama. I'm like, well, I know a lot of stuff is cool. I know I've done a lot of good stuff. I know that I'm a very good healer, and I love helping people. So I think all of this drama is because if this doesn't work, then it makes me doubt my work. And if I doubt my work, it makes me doubt if I can help people as well as I would like to help them. So I'll acknowledge this is a concern of mine. I believe the only answer for that is for me to focus on my studies, always raise my vibration, and to give myself time for meditation and daily peace, which means usually I have to acknowledge on today, I got no daily peace because I got a life and a family. But tomorrow, I'm going to take time for myself to have alone time in the woods with a book. So like I learned to manage it, and then the fear goes away. because I'm acknowledging it and managing it. And I'm like, thank you, ego. Thank you for telling me that. So then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to heal my heart. And ego says, you don't know how to heal your heart? I go, well, I think I do, but let's see if there's any better way out there. Maybe I don't need to heal my heart. Maybe I can open myself to the divine and say, would anyone like to mentor me through healing my heart? And then I get an angelic, yes, we would love to help you. We want to show you new ways. That's when I know my ego is not berating me. The ego is reminding me in its own clumsy way, hey, there are others who can help you. You don't have to do everything yourself. So ego can express things kind of in extreme ways because it's sort of a primal force of our nature. But once you work with your ego for a while, you get used to it. You learn how to interpret it. Um, so if ego says anything and it doesn't resonate with you, talk with your ego. What do you mean by that? Why are you telling me that I look great today when I know I don't look great? Why are you telling me that I got this? I can go and do weekly live streams, that people actually care what I have to say. Why are you telling me that I have the right to do this or that when I feel I don't? I'm like, oh, ego's letting me know I have more rights and abilities than I'm acknowledging in myself. That my value system for myself is skewed in the wrong direction. So then I work with the ego. Okay, ego, you see things in myself that I don't see. So what do we do to get me to where you are? You see, ego will always, always, always show you what you need. You just got to learn to talk with ego and, learn the language of ego. It will help you a lot. Okay, let me just have a sip of water. That was a lot of talking. I have here, um, like I said, shungite, rose quartz, smoky quartz, aquamarine, amethyst, and some clear quartz. I don't even know what else. If you want to put crystals in your water bottles, first of all, they never, for whatever reason, they always stay at the bottom. They never like tumble into my mouth, which is nice. If you want to put crystals in your water bottle, first, you definitely want to sanitize them. And I'm talking bleach water sanitizing. I did bleach water and then rinse with water and then hydrogen peroxide, rinse with water because we don't want to get any nasty illnesses or arsenic or you don't know who's touching your stones and you don't know what environments your stones have been in. Make sure they are physically sanitized. Um, and then you can do a blessing on your water. You can open up the divine energy that flows through your body and send that energy into your hands to the water. Um, you can invite your guides to help flow their love into the water. If you do Reiki or any energy healing, send it in. If you do meditation, then meditate and use your imagination, send love in. Makes such a difference. I sometimes write words of love in a black Sharpie all over my bottle. It rubs off after a while, but the energy stays. Just as Dr. Emoto found, when you put a word or play music to water, it changes its molecular structure. And um, so, so that's why the weird thing, when I have these crystals that have been in that bottle for years, I have tap water from flat well water, and then I start channeling and I hear, and sometimes water will start flowing out or it'll be sitting up like little bits, or sometimes if the water level is higher, the whole thing will explode up and water will gush around. So that's why when I'm getting confused in my heart and I'm thinking that this stuff isn't real, maybe I'm fooling myself, I'm like, oh, look at that water bottle. That's really real. Um, I mean, I know things are real. I know what's real. Okay. So I'm going to take a moment to channel in. I'm feeling some divine energy ready to come in. So give me a moment to open up, and we're going to do a little heart-centered healing. So I'm opening my crown. While I'm doing this, feel welcome to join me. Follow along. I'll give the instructions as I'm opening up and see what flows into you. We're going to set safe parameters, so it will only be angelic on up in vibration. So if you get any messages, they're going to be good messages. So relax your feet. Allow the top of your head to relax. And you can feel as though some beautiful flowing energy is coming in through the top of your head and just flowing through your body, down to your feet, and on out into earth. If you're feeling any um, discomfort, acknowledge the discomfort and invite it to resolve itself. If you're feeling any pain or pressure on the top of your head or your forehead, that's just you resisting the process, which is very natural. Invite your head and forehead to relax and let the energy flow. You don't need to take any action yourself, just acknowledgement and invitation should be enough. And if you're feeling a little queasy in your gut, then invite your root chakra to open wider so that the energy can flow all the way through your being, all the way down through the top of your head, your crown chakra, flowing in through your mind, filling your throat, and down through your heart, flowing on down through your solar plexus, and down to your sacral, and your roots, and then on down through your legs and your feet into earth. If you have any blocks, don't worry, the energy will flow around them, or possibly just pick them up and carry the blocks away, as though they're rubble being carried off by a beautiful river. And just relax, focus on the energy flowing through your being. And you'll notice as you focus on the energy, the top of your head responds by opening wide. And your feet respond by relaxing and flowing deeply. So just let yourself become a hollow tube of energy flowing. We invite our guides, those of the angelic realm, the ascended masters, the light beings, collectives, all the way on up to Source and Gaia, our divine mother and father. All beings of these vibrations of the angelic on up are invited to join us and flow into our bodies, filling our beings with this beautiful, healing love energy, and sending especially wonderful energy into our hearts. And as the energy is flowing in, the love, our connection to our divine friend becomes more tangible with healing, sound, thought, flashes of intuition, downloads, DNA clearing. Allow yourself to open and receive in whatever way that divine love brings joyous information. Oh, my divine children, it has been too long since I have visited with you. What a joy it is for me to be here with you at this time and remind you that each of you was created for a purpose, a reason. You are each here to grow your being, to grow the cosmic being, to connect with those who wish to help you, and in turn, you will be helping others. There are wonderful chains of events at work. We tell you, trust, allow yourself to be guided. As you learn to open and receive, you will realize all the goodness that can flow through you and fill this wonderful planet that I have created and gifted to you. You, each and every one of you, are exactly as you designed yourself to be before you came to life. So honor this design. See all that is beautiful within yourself. Raise yourself up and embrace your mission, your purpose, your path, your life journey. Because you are here for divine purposes. And you are here for personal growth. Isn't it wonderful how we can join together as one? I have a gift for you. Allow yourself to open wide. Let my love flow in through you by your whole line. Open your chakras. Let my love flow in. The mother, the divine blessing, your mother of all beings. And know that as I love you, I do love all beings. And know that you are special. When I gaze upon you, I gaze upon one who has given me much reason to feel proud, to be filled with joy for your existence. You have chosen an extraordinary path in this life. I am here to help as you open and receive my love. You will see more possibilities that are here for you ahead. Let me fill your being. Send my love to your heart. Earlier, the conduit explained how to look into your heart and heal the distresses that are lodged there. Now, I challenge you to look into your heart and see the joy that you find there. See the love, see the best times you have ever had. See the people that love you for who you are. Everyone who is lodged in your heart with love is lodged there because they look upon you and see one who deserves love, who deserves kindness, one who has earned your right to hold a place in their heart. Honor this. Honor this by sending pure love back. Here is an exercise. Think of someone who loves you beautifully. It may be a person, it may be an animal, it may be one who is currently alive, or one who has passed to their energetic life. Bring this being on up into your mind's eye, into your heart. Think of the joy the two of you had. Think of the most joy, the best joy that the two of you share. Take a moment to revel in that. Look into each other's eyes and see the love. Feel each other. Touch each other's faces, bodies. Embrace each other. Feel the purity of this moment and invite it to swell with no effort on your side. Invite the joy of this moment to grow like a sponge you have put in water and expand. Let this joyous moment invite this friend to fill their hearts with the joy. Allow your two hearts to fill with this pure love. It doesn't matter what happened in other times in your life. Just fill the pure love of this moment and allow it to expand, to fill your heart and to fill your friend's heart, to fill the space between your hearts. Let it grow and become light. Let it grow and become the pure energy of love. Now remember for a moment that your chakras are open and flowing with divine love. The love of the angels, the love of your guides, the love of collective and light beings that you have spent past lives with who are joyously sending their guidance and love to you in this life. Allow their love to flow through you. And allow this moment of love to flow through you. And let Self-Seed love fill your heart and flow through your being, expand from you. Share the love of your divine guides with your special friends. And feel the divine guides of your special friend come and fill you. Let all these energies swirl until so many, your guide, your friend, your friend's guide, yourself, are one energy of love. Let that love expand. Let this love fill your being and go beyond where it will. It may choose to stay in your being and feel anything within you that needs repair. Emotions, DNA, organs, oxygenate your blood. Maybe the energy wishes to flow from your being, mix with your aura, and go beyond. Or perhaps the energy wishes to flow through your being, down to your roots, to fill the earth, and send loving blessings to your planet, to you. to your friends of nature. So long as you feel this energy, it will find its way to where it is most needed in the moment. Allow this beautiful love to heal and love and grow and bless. You feel your energy rise up and give thanks to all who are connected with you. You may find your energy flowing in multiple directions because love goes where it can most help. This is a lesson for you. When you feel love, when you accept love and share love, you care for those who need it. When you think of your planet, people on your planet, those who are fighting for social justice, those who are fighting for environmental advocacy, those who are caring for others in a loving way. When you fill yourself with love, your love will flow where it is needed. The greater the love you put in yourself, the more you can help those. You will easily absorb your love, and it will light the flame within them. You may direct and project, or just be, because believe me, your love will grow and flow until the day will come when you are just a living being of love. And that is your beauty. That is your grace. That is how you are intended to be. Until then, allow yourself to heal and absorb our love. It is always here for you. Blessings to you. You are always in my heart. Oh, oh, thank you. That was awesome for me. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, day, wherever you are. And carry the love in your heart. That's what it all comes